22.2 is out and it's a classic CrossFit couplet. We have bar facing burpees and deadlift. The rep scheme goes 1 up to 10 and then back down to 1 of each of the movements, starting with the deadlift. The explanation this time will have an elite section and an RX intermediate section because the pacing tips and strategies will be quite different here. And then in the very end, we'll go through movement standards and how to optimize the movements for your level. For the elite, this is a fast workout. You're gonna have to come out fast from the beginning, but not so fast that you're gonna die towards the end. So make sure you're coming out at a fast but a steady pace that you can maintain the whole time so that you can stay consistent and keep a smooth rhythm from start to finish. Ideally, the deadlift should be done unbroken, but if it's not of strength of yours and if it's a fairly high percentage of your max or you're simply struggling with high volume hinging, then taking a very short break and breaking up the 6 to the 10 and back down to 6 will not be the end of the world as long as it's a quick break. The cycle rate for the deadlifts are going to be key. Make sure as soon as you come up in that locked out position with the shoulders behind, go straight into the next rep. So we really want to avoid getting to that position and resting. Then it's better to simply just drop it and break up the sets. As soon as you finish a deadlift set, regardless of the 1 or the 10, you want to go straight to the floor for your burpee. You want to minimize the transition between deadlifts and burpees, and if you do need a bit more rest time, then make it so after the burpees going into the deadlifts. There are 37 total transitions, which is a lot, so there's a lot to win and a lot to lose here. Make sure to minimize those and rather control the tempo a little bit on the burpees if needed. The burpees is where you're going to be spending most of the time. So really make sure that you're not slowing down too much as you get more tired. Come out at a steady rhythm that you can maintain and 100% use the step up technique. Some tips for the RX intermediate will be similar to that for the elite. For example, the transition between deadlifts and going into the burpees. When you finish your set of deadlifts, regardless it being the 1 or the 10, you want to drop straight to the floor and just start getting moving on the burpees. As you finish a burpee and you go into your deadlift set, this is where you can take your transition break and where you can tighten up the belt if needed to. If these deadlifts are heavy for you, then really make sure that on the burpees, that's where you catch your breath. Because on the deadlifts, it's going to require a lot of bracing, especially again, if they're heavy for you. Make sure to break up from the beginning, or at least from set number 4 and onwards, if it's a load that you struggle with. So that could be breaking up the 5s in 3-2, 6 in 3-3, 7 in 4-3, and from there perhaps breaking up in sets of 3. Key is just going to be that you're moving that bar fast. So again, not spending too much time in either of the end positions. So not on the top and not on the floor. When you move, you want to move fast. If you need to take a break, then take a proper break, not with holding the bar. For the burpees, here, as always, you want to be stepping up and jumping over. Luckily, because of the 2 feet takeoff standard, you do not need to do that this year or last year. So you don't have to worry about a perfect 2 feet takeoff on each of the reps. If you know you're going to struggle here, it might also be an idea to be stepping down into the burpee. So 1 step back, another step, and then come down to the ground, similar to the way you would be stepping up. This workout is a lot of repetitions, a lot of volume. In order to finish it, you would need to do 10 burpees and 10 deadlifts on the minute for 10 minutes, which for most people at the RX intermediate level is pretty tough. So make sure you pace it accordingly. It's a 10-minute AMRAP for you. Most of you might not finish it at this level, but really make sure that you come out with a good strategy, rather too conservative, so that you can pick it up in the end and finish strong, than the opposite where you come out too hot and then have to slow down massively. These 2 movements are movements that you can move fast on and have a strong sprint finish. So it is definitely a better plan to come out a little bit more conservative so you can finish strong. Tips for the movements. The first movement is the deadlift and it's a simple movement. The only kind of tips we want to give here is that you want to be able to use a mixed grip as it's easier to hold on to the bar. I like to alternate each set. And just make sure to have a fast setup. So make sure as soon as the hand comes onto the bar, you're in a position to lift it up. So as you lower yourself, you want to be already in a perfect position to pick it up so that you don't put the hands on and then have to do a big setup. So as soon as you grab it, shins are vertical, you're already in perfect position to engage the first rep. Here's our tip on how to move efficiently on the burpee. You don't want to be wasting too much energy coming down to the floor, so as sort of relaxed as you can, you'll drop your chest to the floor. Like this, you want to stay close to the bar, so be careful not being too far away. The head should be super close to the bar. From here, we want to push up towards our knees, keeping our torso straight. We want to swing one leg up, bring the other leg up as you rotate, so that as we want to jump over, we're already in a rotated position and we can get straight down to the floor again. So again, down, you step up with one leg, rotate as you step up with the other, rotate in the air as you jump over. If you get super tired, or you know this is a tough workout for you, you might want to be stepping down like this from the beginning. In order to keep that heart rate a little bit lower. 4 final reminders for equipment that can help you for the workout. The first one is wear sweatbands to avoid the hands getting sweaty. Second thing is chalk your hands up and chalk the bar before the workout so that you make sure you have a nice good grip throughout the whole time. Third thing is that if you wear a belt, make sure it's a Velcro belt that's easy to tighten up and loosen up during the workout. And fourth thing, make sure you don't use gymnastic grips to help hold on to the bar. This is something that was allowed in the past, but it's not allowed anymore. That's it for our tips and tricks for the workout. Best of luck. I hope you're gonna crush it.